this segment, I'm actually pretty excited for. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Silph research group, but they do detailed research studies on Pokemon Go in order to find out really cool. They myth bust basically. So let's take a look at it. So this one is called Mythbusters Part 3 Event Decay. Welcome back, travelers. Anyone who plays Pokemon Go on a regular basis is very familiar with how many events take place and that events have become an increasingly big part of the game and how it functions. In the 11 months between the introduction of seasons in December 2020 and the end of Halloween of 2021 event, there have been 232 event days. This equates to 69% of total gameplay, an increase over the 56% of gameplay filled by event days in the 11 months prior to seasons. How many of these events have been subjected to speculation about, many of these events have been subject to speculation about event decay. The idea that event spawns become less common near the end of the event. Could there be any truth to these rumors? So here's the myth. The frequency of event spawns reduces over the time during an event. Here are the findings. This study looks at events that lasted for at least 5 days between March and September of 2021 to allow ample time to compare the event spawn frequency from the start of and the end of each event. 5 of the 13 events studied how a marginal decrease in event spawns. However, we are unable to reject the null hypothesis that the proportions of event spawns at the start of the event is equal to the proportion of event spawns at the end of the event for the first 12 months in the chart. So this means these minor fluctuations in event spawns frequency are most likely due to chance alone rather than intentional game design. The 13th event offers an insight into what would happen if Niantic did make a concerted effort to alter the spawn rate of featured event Pokemon. So, like I said, TikTok, head on over to Twitch if you want to see my screen and you want to see this chart, be a part of the episode, get in the chat there. It's twitch.tv/judgmentalmonk. Go over there. We're looking at my screen right now going over this study. So the hypothesis that a lot of people have been talking about for a couple years now is that the spawns of an event start out really heavily at the very beginning of the event and they decay over time. However, this study is showing that that doesn't seem to necessarily be the case, that it could be more chance than actual game design making that happen. So let's take a look at some of the stats here. Bidoof Breakout was the only occasion where there was a significantly different spawn rate of the featured species between the start and end of the event. In this instance, however, Niantic had stated in advance that the spawn rate would increase during the event. The change in frequency can be divided into 3 distinct levels corresponding to each special move period from the event as shown in the table below. So it just kind of shows that during day 1 and 2, the Bidoofs that had the Shadow Ball move had a 21% chance of spawning. Day 3 and 4 with Thunderbolt, they had a 29% chance of spawning. And then on day 5 and 6 with the Ice Beam, they had a 64% chance of spawning, which is quite a big increase in spawn rates. But so, parting words, after analyzing event spawn frequency over 20,000 spawns, we're ready to call this myth busted. One likely cause of the perceived decay in event spawns is the increasingly familiarity of spawns as the event progresses. When an event starts, the new spawns are exciting and unique because they stand out from the same few species we see every day. By the end of the event, we become accustomed to seeing the featured Pokemon so they can stand out less from the seasonal spawns and may therefore seem less common. Until the next myth we get to bust, stay safe, travelers. So yeah, I actually really like that article. I thought it was really good. I honestly was one of the people that thought that they did kind of decay after time. It did seem that way. So it's good to see that the stats are showing that they are not. Does anyone have